Welcome to First Presbyterian Church and our virtual TGIF recital series. Since March of 2020, TGIF has been virtual thanks to the blessing of digital recording. It has been a long time to be apart, and I wish to express my gratitude to all of you for your continued support of TGIF as we sought to provide a bit of solace and comfort during this pandemic. Tonight and in the following Friday evenings, we begin the countdown to concerts that will be live, scheduled for Friday, September 17th, when the ESSO, the Eternal Summer String Orchestra of Santa Fe, will welcome us back to the sanctuary live at First Presbyterian Church. I so look forward to meeting you in person. In the meantime, at the end of the concert are ways to support TGIF and how to subscribe to our email program notices. Thank you for sharing this evening with us and being a part of the TGIF family.
Today's concert is going to take up the theme from last week, which was music for the organ inspired by the Virgin Mary. But today we're going to be exploring some different cultures, French and Spanish, and of course ending with Johann Sebastian Bach's Fugue on the Magnificat. So we'll be exploring different timbres of the Fisk organ, which is incredibly versatile and was conceived in order to play different types of repertoire with close to the original timbres. We'll open with three movements, the first three movements of Nicolas de Grigny's settings of the hymn, Ave Maris Stella, Hail, Star of the Sea. And this is a reference to the Virgin Mary, who is a protector, of course, of all the sailors and all of those who risked their lives at sea. It's a beautiful Gregorian chant, which you'll hear in the pedal in the first setting, which is for full organ with the Ave Maris Stella theme played by the feet on a nice trumpet. The second movement is a fugue in 4 parts, and it's interesting, Grigny has divided the hands so that the top voices are played on a cornet sound, which is a very rich timbre, and we have a couple of choices on this instrument to choose from. The left hand plays on a crumhorn, a very distinctive reed sound, and the pedal just has a loud flute, which in this case I'll be playing on a principal. So you'll hear 3 very different colors as I play the fugue. You'll notice that the subject of the fugue is based on that very same Ave Maris Stella chant. And the third movement I'll play today is the duo, which is a lively treatment of the theme between the 2 hands. My right hand will have the rich cornet sound, and the left hand has a deeper sound. So you can almost imagine a sprightly young thing in dialogue with a gruff old man. So these are 3 movements from Grigny's settings of the Ave Maris Stella.
Now we'll explore a very specifically Spanish tune associated with the Virgin Mary. This is the tune on the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin, and it would be sung. So this is a very special melody that you'll hear in the first opening movement, which is Todos el mundo, all the world, basically joining together to praise the Virgin who was conceived without sin. Immaculate Conception. So Correa de Arauxo is the composer of this variation set. You'll hear first the tune. I used 2 keyboards to do this on the Fisk organ,
on an original Spanish instrument, they would actually have one keyboard that was divided so that I could have a melody registration for the right hand and accompany it with a different registration in the left hand. In this case, we have beautiful 3 keyboards, so I'll just be using different keyboards for the melody. You'll notice that the variations have more and more figuration in the right hand part, so that it starts with just the melody as it would have been sung in Spanish churches in the early 17th century. And then the first variation has duples, so ya da 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 da, very simply expressed, and I might be adding a little bit of extra ornamentation, which Correa encourages us to do. The second variation then moves to triplet figurations, but Correa tells us not to play it ya da 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 da, but to play it long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, to give it a little bit of a swing. So you'll notice in that variation that there's a lot of that pattern in the right hand. And then the final variation, as you may have suspected, moves to quadruples. So then we get ya da 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 da. In his treatment of this simple melody, Correa therefore creates a sense of acceleration or increasing intensity. And I'll be exploiting the special registrations that we have on this organ to reproduce the Spanish corneta, the cornet sound, and the trompeta. Now, the trompeta would not be a horizontal trumpet. These were not yet invented, so Correa did not have access to those, but to the trompeta real, the real length trumpet that's in the case. And we have a beautiful one here at First Presbyterian Church. So you'll get to hear Correa's Spanish music from the early 17th century with very, very authentic sounds. And we've come to the end of this program and a piece by Bach, his Fugue on the Magnificat. Last week we heard Buxtehude's setting of the Magnificat, and it was very sectional, perhaps in keeping with the original text, which is the Canticle of Mary, Magnificat anima mea, my soul doth magnify the Lord. In this setting, Bach takes one of the Magnificat reciting tones and he uses it as the subject for a fugue. So this is one movement straight through, and it sounds like it's going to be a four-voice fugue, because for about 2/3 of the piece, there are four voices, all played with the hands, with this theme and a counter subject. So Bach is exploring the reciting tone of the Magnificat contrapuntally. Then he does something very interesting, which I believe is text painting. Just as Magnificat means to magnify, to expand, to make larger, Bach adds the pedal. And he adds the pedal not in the same note values as the fugue subject, but in augmentation, meaning that not only is Bach augmenting the texture from 4 to 5 parts, but he's increasing the note values of the subject of the fugue. And you'll hear this very distinctly with the pedal in these long notes, sounding out the Magnificat theme. An example of Bach expressing the text through organ music.